You absolutely love to see this. Coming off a huge win against the Utah Mammoth, one guy got a very important goal late, and that is Kirby Dach, and he's been on all Habs fans' minds recently, and over his last 5 games, not only have his points been there, but one other incredibly important aspect to his game has been better than ever. We got to dive into Kirby Dach, but not just that. His line, plus 2 other Habs lines, are right at the top of the league in an important stat involving the team goals, and we got a big update on Alexander Zharovsky, who once again puts on a clinic for the under 20 team, another multi-point game. There is a ton to go over on this episode of Habs Digest, and we might as well, Jesse, start with Zharovsky there with that breakout pass. My goodness, what a day for him. Like, just, looking unreal this whole time. 3 assists in the Future Cup here against Team Belarus, and I know this is still just like, this is still under 20 hockey. It's not in the KHL, but this is very important. He is putting on a clinic day in, day out here. This guy, I feel like, doesn't stop, and even if we have to talk about him every single day for the rest of the season, I think I'm ready to do it, because this dude's on a pace higher than Ivan Demidov ever did, and according to Mason Black in the PNHLE, which is your points equivalent to like an NHL level-ish, he's number 1 of all prospects in the entire world, even ones that aren't drafted yet. How impressive has this dude been?
Again, it's very impressive, but just continues to become more and more impressive, Josh, just as we're seeing more and more footage getting released of what he's doing right now, just completely lighting it up in the KHL right now and beyond in some international games here. What we're just loving from him, of course, is that, like, it's like just what this means for the Montreal Canadiens, because right now it's just so much skill, and we know he's under contract till the end of this year and then until next year. And it's looking like most likely Demidov, we kind of very lucky how we were able to get him just a little bit earlier than expected. But again, with Zharovsky, it's looking like we might need to wait. What that means for the Habs, though, we're going to have an impact player right away in Alexander Zharovsky. Inserted into your top 6, point producer, making things happen. Like, if this is what he's doing right now, he's going to get a year and then a whole other season on top of that to be able to develop in the KHL. Like, just imagine what we're going to be reporting, like seeing him doing, because right now, like, it's kind of like verging on the edge of like dominance, right? When you're getting like 3 points in a game. Again, he got 2 points in the game yesterday, named player of the game. Like, he's playing with his opposition. He loves owning the puck, which again kind of reminds you of Demidov as well. Again, all for the benefit of your team, of course, but like many skilled players do, of course, they love owning the puck. But like, it wasn't just that, Josh. Like, it's that skill set of the size, which we see on one of the assists tonight, where like he's using his frame to kind of protect you the puck. Reminding me of Kirby Dach, who we're going to get into in just a minute. Some amazing stuff happening with him there. But then it's like the skill that dangles, right? Like the toe drag, just to remind you, put the emphasis on the skill. Like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, I'm a sniper and I'm a points guy. And then, of course, like the vision, just making it completely so easy for his teammates. A dream to play with right now. You have to feel like you're Demidov. That's also maybe getting you excited. Like, maybe they're chatting back and forth. Like, what can we do? Like, seriously, get Demidov now pulled to maybe see if we can get him here a little bit earlier. Of course, I joke, but it's just going to be amazing to see them out on the ice very soon.
For sure, and I love the fact that, again, even in Russia right now, like, we got Demidov over early, thankfully, but, like, Zharovsky, like, they're all for helping him develop, right? And, he's excited to play in Montreal, and he's friends with Ivan. It's like, I don't know, you're right. I think that maybe some strings could be pulled, but who knows? Like, regardless of the timeline works out perfectly. Like, we're rolling right now. We're right there at the top of the Atlantic Division already. And in a couple of years, getting a guy like that on his rookie contract, the guy who leads the league in PNHLE, pretty impressive. Leave your thoughts on him down below. But we're going to go on to the team right now. And, the Habs have had some pretty good production, Jesse. We lead the league in goals for. At least we did. That last night, I don't know. There were some pretty high-scoring games. But regardless, at least at one point yesterday, we led the league in total goals for. But when you break it down by lines, I originally saw this on Reddit, but I went to Money Puck to get the stats and some extra ones myself. Money Puck's a great site for this. Goals for of all lines in the NHL, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, Caufield, and Newhook, Kaiden, and Demidov are both number 4 and 5. They're tied for 4th, I guess, with 11 goals for. 4th of any line in the NHL. Only Lehkonen, McKinnon, Natchez, the McKinnon line, the Guhle line, and the Connor Scheifele line are better than these 2 Habs lines, not to mention Gallagher, Dach, Bolduc coming in at number 12. And not only do they come in at number 12 with only 70 minutes played, of all forward lines in the league with at least 50 minutes played together, Gallagher, Dach, Bolduc still show up in terms of expected goals percentage. It's not just the total goals they're putting out, it's the expected goals. When these guys are on the ice, they're one of the most impactful forward trios in the league. Look at some of the other names above them here. Forsberg, Marner, Roope Hintz, Mikko Rantanen, Chris Kreider, Leo Carlson, some of the best lines in the league. So right now, Jesse, not only are the Montreal Canadiens rolling in terms of total goal scoring with their lines, they're also right up there with expected goals too. And I just wanted to how long has it been since we're like, wow, this team really goes 12 deep in terms of the forwards? And that's even with a fourth line that arguably hasn't even been nearly as good as they could have been this year. It's nuts.
It's a little bit surprising, but I'm completely here for it as a Habs fan in terms of what we're seeing right now, because we know depth is going to be the key for the Montreal Canadiens. Nick Suzuki, they're going to bring it. Which again, will we consider what they do defensively as well?
Yeah.
Can we put that as a caveat? And all this just makes it very, very impressive here. And you would argue probably better defensively. A lot of those people ahead of him bring in what he's doing again offensively. The case for Nick Suzuki, Team Canada, very strong, continues here on Habs Digest as we campaign for that. But again, besides that, which is kind of what we know as a given, again, that depth is the key for this team, and we're getting that, and that's obviously the success of why we're doing what we're doing right now. And again, this is a little bit surprising, the fact that those two other lines that we have here, again, we look like 5 out of those 6 players besides Gallagher, all pretty young guys.
Yep.
And that's what's the most exciting. Kapanen, again, punching above his weight right now. But he's a wild card. Could this continue? Absolutely it could. Should we not believe in him? He's showing us every sign that he's just a responsible hockey player. Book it that's going to continue here for him. Obviously, Demidov, is through the roof. Nick, Newhook himself is still young. You got to feel like Dach, and again, as we're going to get into it, so it's going to get better. And that's the part of it. Bolduc, he started off hot, and then he kind of cooled down. Again, we're not into gambling here, but definitely book, again, Bolduc's point totals cooking up very soon again. He's going to start sniping some sick goals here. You can really expect that in the near future. So again, this is just something that's going to continue to really grow for this team, and absolutely phenomenal, because again, Jake Evans, that line, they got a role to play as well with Anderson as well in that forecheck. So we're really getting it just throughout the lineup right now. It's again that depth. I believe we're the most represented team out of that 12. I mean, how can we not, right? So again, you put where we are in the standings, and then our depth kind of throughout. That's what makes the Montreal Canadiens really the key to their winning formula so far this season.
Absolutely. And yeah, we are the best represented. The only other team with even 2 is the Utah Mammoth at number 2 and 11. And we got 3 lines in terms of total goals for. And it's crazy. That also doesn't even count some of the power play stuff going on. Because again, it's 11 total goals for. But I mean, look, you add up Suzuki's 4 plus Caufield's 12 plus Slaf 6. That's a lot more. That's 22 total. But again, a lot of that Slaf's on the power play, stuff like that. But yeah, it's the dominance throughout this whole lineup that is really good. And you brought up Kirby Dach, and he's a guy that we absolutely have to talk about, and he has been on a roll as of late. But let's just bring up the stats on the season right now. He's currently on a 48-point pace, which is almost 2C level numbers, but a lot of this production, 5 of his last 7 points, have come in the last 5 games, after only getting 2 points in his first 7 games. Again, 6'4", still only 24 years old, and he's only averaging about 14 minutes time on ice with very little power play time, but he is producing, and he's a big reason why we see this Gallagher, Dach, Bolduc line. It's really Kirby Dach who is driving a lot of this. Now, the other guys are Gallagher and Bolduc really make it easy for Dach to do what he needs to do, because those guys are winning these puck battles, getting to the dirty areas, laying the body. But in Kirby Dach's last 5 games, this is courtesy of Hockey Reference, in his last 5 games, he has 4 goals, 5 points, he's a +2, but he's also 56% on the dot, 55.6%, 20 wins, 16 losses, and that has been the biggest issue for him so far in his career, and he's not quite at 50% for the season, but he's not that far below. The production is finally coming, Jesse, but like we said, over these last 5 games, we said it in that first game he got a point about 5 games ago there, it started this kind of streak. We were like, man, he actually looks like he got his legs under him now. He's being physical. He's skating to the net. We're like, wow, this is a different Kirby Dach. And it's just gotten better and better and better. And of course, after Nick Suzuki's insurance goal last night, Kirby Dach comes in and seals it on the breakaway. And we're starting to see that Kirby Dach that was there, that scored 38 points in 58 games, up to 5 goals in 12 games. I don't know. I'm pretty excited for Kirby, Jesse. I mean, I don't know if that 30-ish goal pace is sustainable, but what he has shown, I just gotta say, I love to see it, because this is a guy that we know the talent is there. He has just not been healthy, has not had that opportunity to have a big streak of hockey, but he seems to be finding his footing a lot earlier this year than he did last year.
but now he's having his opportunity. He's making the most of it. And again, it started first by playing the details of the game. And then from there, like the big thing for Dach, if the point production is going to come, it's like he's going to have to do the details and work hard, but then also the skill. Like he's going to need to get on those breakaways like he did last night and then finish it. And then like that's the difference. If we have Kirby Dach playing those details, playing physically, but again, finishing off those opportunities, being that high impact player that we know he can be, again, bringing that skill level, so important for him, hitting that next level, and his potential is so key. And there's some interesting takeaways, even if just we're looking at his point production here, which I think we can make some strong inferences going on to the season, which I think are really promising for him, and also the Montreal Canadiens. That being that, out of his 7 points right now, 5 of those are goals, which is great that those are high impact points, right? But what do we know about Kirby Dach, Habs Digest Nation? Like, this guy's a playmaker at his best, right? Like, he loves to cook in the offensive zone, use his frame, protect, and facilitate for his teammates. So you can definitely expect, as he's coming into his game, gain that confidence. Again, now the points are starting to come. That's going to come much more in the variety of playmaking and really making things happen for his teammates on the ice. And you're going to see when you do it like that, just ask Lane Hutson, ask Nick Suzuki, the points start piling up really quickly. And that's the big thing with Kirby Dach. It's like, now we got to figure out, like, is he the 2C? Is he not the 3C? We're not going to answer that question specifically here on Habs Digest. Here we are here to say he's solidifying himself here in a contract year as part of this team.
Yep.
We're not ruling out the 2C. Again, you know, we did the math prior to the show. He's on a 48-point pace. Not quite where you want to see for a 2C, but like projecting like there, like it can get there to that 60, maybe 70 that you really want on those contending type of teams. Because again, like him being young, that is the ideal that you could get a 2C that grows. That's why like Mason McTavish was so kind of obviously tempting until he was taken off the table. Is you want a guy like that. You can get those vets and they can be great, but you need to replace them once they go, and that's not always a sure bet. Whereas, you know, when you're kind of laying a strong foundation, again, with somebody that can grow with Nick Suzuki, and then you add vets another way, you get a strong winger, something there, and I think that really adds to this team in some really powerful ways. So we're going to have to see how this continues. But again, Kirby Dach showing some strong kind of signs here that this is going to keep cooking for him.
Yeah, I would love to see it, right? Again, especially if the faceoffs can stay up. But hey, 5 points over his last 5 games, 4 goals over his last 3 games, I think. So it's like the dude has just been absolutely cooking, and that line has helped. But yeah, you have to wonder, like, when is he going to get maybe another shot with someone else? There was talk about, maybe Bolduc will get a shot with someone else. Maybe Dach will move up. But having these discussions is pretty good. And also, don't forget, Alex Newhook can also play center, and he's been on a pretty good pace. Oliver Kapanen is playing center, and he's on a good pace. Like, we have some flexibility now. And a lot of these guys have experience at the wing as well. So there's a lot of flexibility in this lineup. A lot of guys are rolling. Hey, winning helps a lot. It helps your confidence. It helps figure out what is working, what is not. Click with your teammates. When you're winning, you know what to do again and again to get that production. I'm excited to see what's coming from Kirby Dach. Let us know your thoughts down below, because that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you want Kirby Dach to score more goals. By the way, Jesse, he's halfway to his goal total of last year in only 12 games this year. And he took him 57 games last year. Career high of 14. He might just smash that this year. If you want him to smash it, hit the like button down below. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.